Is there a burden with all that you carry? Like being the man? Like, is there a burden that comes with that?
Absolutely. There's huge burden. I think, where did I read? I read somewhere that the top 1% of society and the bottom 1% of society have the same stress level. So it's least stressful in the middle. But if you're at the very, very top of elite and you're at the very, very bottom of like shit muncher nobody, you're both really stressed out. Because like at the bottom, you have nothing to eat and shit. And at the top, if your company fucks up, like you're losing billions of share value and these people are stressed as well. So at the very, very top, they're stressed. At the very, very bottom, they're stressed. Most people exist somewhere in the middle. And yeah, I'm the king of my castle. I'm the king of my life. I'm in charge of my business. I make all the calls. Like even my brother and my cousin, everyone I work with, it's still me. I'm the boss. I'm in charge of everything. So yeah, there's stress associated with that. But with responsibility comes authority, doesn't it? And I like authority because I trust myself more than I trust anyone else. So if I want to be able to make all the calls, I have to have all the responsibility to go along with it. If I want to be the captain of the ship, I have to be responsible for the ship sinking. But that means if I say, do something on my ship, you got to fucking listen because I'm the captain. So most people, this is a big skew in modern society, especially in relationships. So we can apply this to relationships or society as a whole. Most people want authority without responsibility. That's what people want. I want authority without responsibility. That's what they want. Or you have women women do that. They want authority, but they don't want any responsibility. And then you have men in the world who have all the responsibility, but no authority. You have men who go out there, work his ass off, pay all the bills, struggling in the coal mine. But he comes home and he can't even tell his woman to make him a coffee. So he has all the responsibility and no authority. And the two should be linked. The more responsibility you have, the more authority you have. Now, personally, I can't think of any motherfucker on the planet better than me at living my life. So that means I need to be in charge of everything, which means I want to be responsible for everything, which is why, and yeah, there's a whole bunch of stress that goes with it, but I can't think of anyone else who can do it better than me. So that's just how it is. So I'm either going to deal with that stress and have all the authority to make all the calls, or I'm going to be a little pussy and be like, oh, I don't know. And I'll just hand over jobs to other people and just block it out from my mind. And then I don't get to make calls on them and it won't be done as well, but at least I don't have the stress of it.
You know, I kind of feel like it's one of the most important questions a man should answer about himself. Because I think as a man, you get to choose who you want to be and become it. You build yourself into whatever you decide you want to be. As a woman, you're born and you're going to be either a hot one or not, and you're probably going to end up a mother, and great. Okay, good. But as a man, you get to decide which avatar you want to experience life as. You get to decide if you want to be the rock star or the basketball player or the astronaut or the firefighter or whatever we thought we wanted to be when we were children. And it's actually a very interesting psychological and philosophical question, because you can sit and analyze, okay, have I become who I wanted to be? Like, I don't know. As a kid, I don't remember saying a specific profession as much. I remember being obsessed with my obviously my father and Batman and chess and certain things. I didn't have a specific profession. But now that if you ask me, and I'm going to be all philosophical and self-reflecting, have I become who I wanted to be? Well, I like to think I'm a good representation of my father. I like to think I'm a good representation of Batman. I've got enough cars. I could fight, got the money. Everything's fine. So, yeah, I think I've done pretty good. But I don't think enough men analyze and think, what did I really want to be when I was growing up, and did I become it? Because that's the most beautiful thing about being a man. You can be anything. There's a whole bunch of shit that's cool that I don't want to do. I don't want to go base jumping. I don't want to swim with sharks. I don't want to do any of that fucking shit. But some dudes do, and they do it. There's many different ways to be an interesting person as a man. And the fact that so many men fail to achieve any of them is actually quite remarkable. So when I grew up, I kind of feel like I wanted to be the man I am today. I wanted to be financially successful. I wanted to be well-known, respected. I want my last name to mean something. I wanted to be physically intimidating. I wanted to be free. I wanted to be spontaneous because I had the means to be. And I wanted to be competent and capable and well looked up to. And I feel like I've kind of done most of those things. And I'm very, very happy with my life.
Let's talk about men and women. Like, where in the West, in America, UK, Canada, where have men and women gone wrong? Let's start with men and then go into women.
I think, yeah, both sides certainly have a part to play.
Yeah.
You know, both sides certainly have a part to play, because
women are the gatekeepers to the sexual marketplace. This is the thing. Women are the gatekeepers. We're the ones who want it, and the women are the one who stop us getting it effectively.
Yeah.
So in many ways, women could control the world, and they could control the world completely differently than they do. If I had the ability to control all women, if they said, look, I only want to fuck masculine alpha guys, you'd have a whole bunch more masculine alpha guys around. Mm-hmm. So, you know, in a lot of ways, women drive a direction. When women sit and go, I want sensitive, I want this, I want that, I want this. This is where a lot of these pussy guys come from.
Yeah.
Because they sit there and go,
well, they're listening to the bullshit coming out of her mouth, which is all nonsense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think some of the biggest mistakes men make is listening to girls. Okay. Girls don't know what they fucking want.
Yeah.
Girls don't know what they want. Ask a girl what she wants to eat.
Yeah.
She doesn't know what she wants. She doesn't know what they want with anything.
Well, you mean she doesn't know what she wants on like a you know, very conscious level. Instinctually, she knows what she wants.
Absolutely. Instinctually. Yeah. I say this all the time to people because I have courses and everything on how to get girls, and people say to me, oh, advice on this, advice on that. And I say this all the time. Women don't fuck guys they like. They fuck guys they respect.
Yeah.
There's plenty of girls who hate me.
Yeah.
They still fuck me.
Yeah.
They're like, you know what? You're a dickhead.
You must have all kinds of girls blowing your DMs up. And
all the time. They're like, literally,
yeah.
oh, you know, you're a dickhead, but it would be interesting to meet you.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, I drop soap commercials and shit, you know, all that, you know, the funny shit, and girls just blow up my Instagram and shit. It's funny.
Yeah.
Nudes and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this is great.
This is how it is.
More soap. More soap. Like,
because they want guys they respect. It's not about like.
Yeah.
You know, it's nothing to do with like. It's about respect. So when guys say to me, okay, well, how do I make women respect me? Well, I say, well, how do you respect yourself? That's the first thing. No one's gonna respect you if you don't respect yourself. Do other men respect you? Like, how do you act in a way that commands respect from anybody?
Yeah.
And this is what it's all basically about. A lot of the red pill stuff, a lot of the dating coach stuff. One of the reasons I don't really teach games so much is I say, look, if you focus on yourself and make yourself being who you are and being a high value male, women will detect it and it won't be so difficult for you, as opposed to trying to masquerade all the time.
And so then the specifics you're saying men will figure out as they go on.
Yeah. And I think that's what it is. I mean, when I have sons and they ask me, like, what do I do about this girl, that girl? I say, you just be the man.
Yeah.
Fuck her. You be you. And that's the frame you need anyway. I've said, a man has a degree of authority over something he has responsibility for. They took this and they used it and said that I think that men have authority over women. It's not what I said. I said, if I have responsibility for something, I must have a degree of authority over that thing. If I have a car, for it to be parked in the wrong place or for me to drive too fast, whatever, for me to be responsible for the actions of that car, it must be my car. If it's parked in the wrong place, but it's not mine and I'm not allowed to drive it, then I'm not held accountable. For me to be accountable, I have to have responsibility. By extension, that gives me a degree of authority. So what I was saying is, if a woman comes to me and lives with me and I pay the bills and she travels the world with me and she flies on jets and we go to boats and she's taken care of, I'm responsible for her safety if we walk the street at night. I ensure her life is in perfect order. I have a degree of authority where I can say, you're not going to go out at night by yourself. It's dangerous. Or we're not going to go to this country right now. It's dangerous. That's a degree of authority that I have that comes with my responsibility from a protective manner. That does not mean I am oppressive. That does not mean I'm misogynistic. It just means that responsibility and accountability are linked and they can't be decoupled. A captain goes down with the ship because the captain is responsible for what happens on the ship. If the captain gives orders and everyone ignores him, then he doesn't go down with the ship, does he? He has authority because he is responsible. The two things are the same. And once again, people have misunderstood what I've said. And that's what I said. In a healthy relationship, perhaps in my relationships, let's talk from a personal perspective because then I can't be attacked. In my relationships, I am responsible for the emotional security and for the physical security and the fiscal responsibility, the fiscal security of any woman I'm with. And by extension, I have a degree of authority over her to make sure that we as a couple proceed and progress in the best possible way. It's not going to be 50-50 if I'm in charge of the most important things. It's going to be like, listen, I love you very much. I respect what you're saying, and you're totally right about this. But on this one point, I'm sorry, I'm going to be the man. We're doing it this way. I will be open and admit, and I think if every man's honest with themselves, the reason we want to be in charge of companies or work so hard or be the boss or be the manager or dedicate our lives to something, the reason we want fast cars, the reason we want big houses, it's all status signaling. Like, if women didn't exist, would we really need fast cars and big houses? No, we'd live in a sleeping bag. We wouldn't care, right?
We would want cars, right?
Cars, maybe. But like,
cars.
It's status signaling. And why do you signal status? For power. For the same reason you just said about me being able to go into an OMV and do things other people can't do is because I'm seen as powerful. I pull up in a Ferrari. I've got a diamond watch. I'm a big, strong guy. No one wants to argue with me. Who is he? He might have friends. It's power. And if every man's honest with themselves, they all want power. There's no other reason men are out here slaving away, trying to become the boss, dedicating their lives, trying to be the CEO of some business. Men want money all the time more than women. Women already have power because they're beautiful. If you're pretty, you have power because you're beautiful, because people want you, right? So, but men have to build their own influence. You have to make yourself desirable, and you do that by becoming powerful. You don't have to be a handsome man. You have to be a powerful man. Men want power. So for us to believe that the average man on the street wants power, but the person in charge of the world doesn't want power is naive. They want power, and they want us all at home just so they can literally, in their little hearts, feel happy that they get to tell billions of people what to do. That's it, because nothing else is going to make them happy. They have all the money. One of my Instagram posts, which got deleted, there was a Povetkin, the boxer. It was a interaction in his corner of the 11th round of a title fight for Povetkin in early 2000s, and his corner was saying, "Do you miss your father?" And he said, "Yes, I miss my father." He goes, "If you become champion, he lives forever." Oh, shit. And he's right. If you become remarkable enough as a man, they talk about your origin story, which is your father. So it is my duty to my father to be the man I am.
Totally.
No one would be talking about my dad, maybe in chess circles, but no one would be talking about my dad in mainstream consciousness if I wasn't who I am.
No doubt.
So I keep him alive.
Yeah.
And it is my son's duty to do exactly that for me, to keep me alive. The man who got banned and broke social media big tech monopoly. Mm-hmm. This is my son's job. So this is what's so important. He lives forever through me.
Yeah.
And he'll live through it and I will live forever through my son. And that's the beautiful thing about life.
Guy after guy messaged me saying, "I don't know what to do. My girlfriend's talking to this guy. He's her friend since school." I'm like, "Bro, you better tell her to get out the house or stop talking to that guy." He's like, "Oh, but she might leave." If she chooses to text another guy over live with you, how long is it till she fucks him? Like, you want to start a countdown timer? Like, it's really simple to me. And maybe because I'm so black and white with it, people think my advice won't work. But I say, look, maybe she walks out the door and you just saved yourself a whole bunch of time, because it was sooner or later, that's all she was going to do anyway. If you have no authority over a woman, then the whole thing's fucked. And that's my very basic view. And like I said, I've been doing this a long time. Same thing with the cam girls. As soon as they wouldn't listen to me about something, then they had to go, because I don't think a relationship can work any other way without a clear leader. Name something in life that's 50-50. Anything. Name a corporation where everyone has the exact same stake. Name the military. Name something that functions and works 50-50. Nothing. There's always a chain of command. And if the woman's in charge, she's going to resent you. So that by default means it has to be the man. So you have to make her respect you and take charge of the relationship and keep things under control. That's my view of it anyway.